As an educational representative for the Thompson School District in Loveland, Colorado, I visit over a dozen schools every week. This gives me a unique perspective as to the everyday trials and triumphs of the teachers in those schools. I'm Drew Holmes, owner of Boomer Music Company. Come with me as I show you the view from the road. Well, greetings and welcome to the View from the Road. It's a rainy Tuesday, which is in stark contrast to the last couple of days. The weekend was wonderful. Yesterday was glorious, but now we're back into what spring can be at the beginning of spring. And don't get me wrong, we can use the moisture, so I don't mind the rain so much. But it's definitely a departure of what we've had and what we've been starting to get used to, and the sneak preview of the time to come. We've got 2 tryout nights this week. We've got one tomorrow, which is a combined tryout night at Mountain View High School, and that's going to be for High Plains School, Conball Middle School, and Riverview pre-K through 8. So if you're attending any of those schools and haven't tried out instruments, come, we'll have them. And if you want to do your rentals, then fantastic. We'll have everything set up for that. It'll be for delivery later at the schools. We're just going to take reservations on that. And then we have another tryout night over at New Vision Charter School, and that's going to be on Thursday. And that's going to be right after school. I think they're both right after school. So come on by right after that and try out the instruments. And like I said, we're going to be doing reservations, and we will deliver things based on availability. Now, why do I phrase it that way? Well, that's, going back to my word of the year, which is supply chain disruption. We were running short on a couple things, but I think I've mitigated that for this time. But the ongoing problem hasn't been solved yet, and unfortunately it might get worse before it gets better. I was listening to one of the podcasts that I do this morning, and they were talking about the dock workers union contract for the West Coast, specifically for the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles. And that is going to be up for renewal in June, and they have not yet started to renegotiate that contract. That isn't scheduled to happen until May. And the issue with that is if they go on strike, that's going to create a greater bottleneck than we've already had, and all the bottlenecks haven't been alleviated yet. I believe there's a few dozen ships that are still off the coast in the Pacific waiting to be unloaded. Now, one of the sticking points in the contract, I'm getting the weeds a little bit here, is increased automation. The union obviously does not want to lose jobs, and I completely get that. I mean, they're trying to protect the workers that have been working hard throughout all of the troubles over the last couple of years. But the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, which are right next to each other, there's no additional room to expand out. So the only way to process more stuff through them is to increase efficiencies, and that means automation. So that's going to be an interesting negotiation, and hopefully that can be resolved without a work stoppage, because as of right now, without that as a factor, we are looking at some delivery deadlines, or ETAs rather, out as far as December, and that's for orders placed today. I placed an order for some Barry Saxes specifically, and the ETA is actually December of 2022. So the upshot of all this as it relates to educators is, if you haven't done your budgeting yet for next year and gotten some kind of commitment allocation, do that as soon as possible and get those orders in as soon as possible, because first in, first out. I've been ordering really heavy on stuff in an effort to alleviate some of this. I mean, I ordered a bunch of stuff back in November, December, that part of the year, and a lot of that still hasn't even arrived yet. So we're looking at April, May, June on some of that stuff. So my point is, the sooner that we can plan, and I know plan is a 4-letter word, the sooner that we can accommodate those requests and continue to do what we do, which is you try to get instruments in the hands of kids. And there's going to be delays, we all know that, but by planning ahead a little bit right now, we can avoid some of those major delays, all things being equal. And I'm sincerely hoping that there's no further artificial disruption of cargo through those ports. I think the estimate is 40% of the cargo from China, or maybe it's Asia overall, come through Long Beach and Los Angeles. And so if there was a strike, that would be just catastrophic to the gains that have been made in the supply chain, and we really don't want that to happen. So anyway, that is your view from the road. I'll see you at the tryout nights. As always, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch up with you next time. Thank you for riding along and seeing the view from the road. If you liked this video, please share it with a friend, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook, and you will never miss a new video. I'm Drew Holmes, owner of Boomer Music Company and educational representative for the Thompson School District in Loveland, Colorado. Thanks for watching.